Hey guys, Morgan the Rebellious Reviewer. We talk about music and occasionally books and movies. And today, we're going to be continuing my genre retrospective series on Outlaw country. This time, we're talking about the album Shotgun Willie by one of my state's biggest celebrities, Willie Nelson. For those of you who don't know, I'm from Texas, and Willie Nelson is practically a god here. We've got Willie Nelson's 4th of July picnic, he owns a chain of restaurants here, blah blah blah, etc. Personally, I first heard Willie Nelson when I was a little kid and my grandma, a huge Willie Nelson fan, would play the song Beer for My Horses by Toby Keith featuring Willie Nelson, which is a great song, by the way. And then later on I heard Highwayman, the song he did with Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, and Chris Christopherson, which is also a great song, even though Willie Nelson is by far the weakest link on that song. So, with my whole state and my grandma liking Willie Nelson, and me liking what I've heard from him, I had pretty high expectations for this album. Were they met? Well, unfortunately, I, Morgan the Rebellious Reviewer, am about to commit blasphemy when I say that this album isn't that good. Now, before my fellow Texans come at me with pitchforks and torches, let me just make it clear right now that this is not a bad album. In fact, it has some really good songs on it, and I'd even argue that there are no bad songs. The problem is, there aren't that many good songs on it either. However, the first track, Shotgun Willie, is actually a really good song.
Shotgun Willie sits around in his underwear, biting on a bullet, pulling out all of his hair. A Shotgun Willie's got all of his family there.
It has a nice stomping groove, and the lyrics about Willie Nelson in his underwear are pretty funny. And as a side note, can I just say that this is the second video in this series that I've mentioned underwear in? What's up with that? Anyway, after that track, we get the extremely catchy song, Whiskey River.
Whiskey River, take my mind. Don't let her memory torture me. Whiskey River, don't run dry. You're all I got, take care of me.
This one is just a simple song about drinking away one's sorrows, but it's a lot of fun to listen to, so it works in that lane. In fact, it's one of only 3 songs on this entire album that I have saved on Spotify. The other 2 are coming up later. Unfortunately, after Whiskey River, Willie Nelson cannot seem to keep up the momentum. The next song, Sad Songs and Waltzes, puts me to sleep.
But you've no need to fear it, 'cause no one will hear it. 'Cause sad songs and waltzes aren't selling this year.
It's just so dull and boring, and it has cliche lyrics. Nothing special. Thankfully, the next song, Local Memory, puts this album temporarily back on track.
The lights go out each evening at 11, and up and down our block there's not a sound. I close my eyes and search for peaceful slumber, and just then the local memory comes around.
It has a fun guitar rollick and some deep lyrics, and it's a little too short, unfortunately, but it's still a good song. However, it unfortunately leads into another snooze fest called Slow Down, Old World.
Slow down, old world. There's no hurry, 'cause my life ain't mine anymore.
This one actually has an interesting concept. It's about a guy who sees the world changing around him and feels overwhelmed and world weary because of it. I might actually like this song if the instrumentation was a lot better. As it is, it's dull and colorless. The next song is a cover of Stay All Night, Stay a Little Longer by Western swing artist Bob Wills.
Stay all night, stay a little longer. Dance all night, dance a little longer. Pull off your coat, throw it in the corner. Don't see why you didn't stay a little longer.
I know nothing about this guy, but considering both of the covers of his songs on this album are in my saved songs on Spotify, I think I should probably check his stuff out. As for the song itself, it's pretty goofy, but it's too much fun for me to care thanks to that amazing guitar rollicking melody. In fact, I'm just gonna say it. Stay All Night, Stay a Little Longer is easily the best song on this album. After that, we get Devil in a Sleeping Bag.
And the devil shivered in his sleeping bag. He said, traveling on the road is such a drag. If we can make it home the Friday, we can ride. And the devil shivered in his sleeping bag.
This one has a bit more energy, some great percussion, and some interesting lyrics about travel, but unfortunately the rest of the instrumentation isn't as interesting. A plucky guitar isn't cutting it, Willie. This song is decent, but I don't seek it out. Still, I'd take it over the next song, She's Not For You, any day of the week.
But she's not for you. She's not for you.
This is another country breakup song, and it's another song with instrumentation that's as dull as ditch water. Seriously, why does this album feel like it's trying to put me to sleep and then wake me up repeatedly? It's annoying. After that, we get Bubbles in My Beer, which is the other Bob Wills cover on this album.
Tonight in a bar alone I'm sitting, apart from the laughter and the cheer. Scenes from the past rise before me, watching the bubbles in my beer.
It's a very fun song with a great guitar riff, but even I have to admit that the subject matter about drinking away one's sorrows is a bit cliched. That's another problem I have with Willie Nelson, by the way. Not only do his songs get repetitive within the context of an album, they also get repetitive within the context of country music in general. Like, he talks about the same topics such as heartbreak and drinking over and over again, but these topics aren't even unique to him. A million other country artists have talked about these topics. Anyway, after that, the album starts its downhill slide again with You Look Like the Devil.
You look like the devil in the morning, 'cause you've been out working through the night.
In this song, Willie Nelson sings about how this girl can't blow his mind because she kisses everyone. And then he says he compares her to the devil, which reminds me more than it should of I Fall Apart by Post Malone. And then he says he's glad he met her. I can't tell if this is supposed to be mean-spirited or not, but it kind of sounds like it is. To be fair, the instrumentation on this one is decent, but the lyrics ruin it. And also, it doesn't help at all that the lyrics and the instrumentation don't match. Still, I take this song over both of the next two songs any day of the week. The first of these is So Much to Do.
There's just so much to do since you've gone. Too much to do all alone.
Which is actually decent lyrically. I mean, sure, it's a breakup song, but there's enough detail in there that it could be interesting if it wasn't for the dull, colorless instrumentation again. Speaking of painfully dull instrumentation, the final song on this album, A Song for You, has easily the dullest instrumentation on this entire album.
'Cause now we're alone and I am singing my song for you.
And that's saying something. It's just a painfully simple piano with Willie Nelson singing cliche lyrics over it. Seriously, Texas? You picked this guy to be your idol over Waylon Jennings, who's also from Texas, and who makes much better songs. What's wrong with you? So, now that I'm done ranting, how was this album overall? Well, it was okay. It had no bad songs, and it had just enough good songs to keep it slightly above average. In other words, solid 6 out of 10, and only recommended for Willie Nelson fans and people interested in the history of outlaw country. Otherwise, skip it. And that's my review. If you enjoyed seeing me destroy my Texas cred, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm Morgan the Rebellious Reviewer, and I'm out. Rio, get Kyra to come over there. She's sitting next to them. Kyra, go over there.
Oh, where are we?
Right there.
Today?
She was right there.
Snack here?
Uh-huh.